Today we're going to make this box of New Orleans style dirty rice. It's been in the cupboard for a while and I want to use it. I usually make a dirty rice from scratch after using these packages for a couple of years. I find it actually cheaper to do it from scratch. So right now this is the leftover cooked ground beef from yesterday when I made the Jamaican patties. There was more than 2 pounds in the package, so I just cooked up the rest with no seasoning and put it in a container in the freezer. You can see it's still kind of frozen. I'm going to cook that up, and then I chopped up a small onion and a small pepper that was starting to get wrinkly, and there's some celery tops. I'm adding some vegetables, even though the box instructions don't say to do that. And I'm just going to wait till this cooks, and we're going to have this and leftover Jamaican patties for lunch. And if anybody's still hungry, there's still a bit of the faux soup that I made yesterday, as well as a few other bits and pieces of things frozen in little containers. It's now starting to defrost. I noticed that the package, the seasoning package, was rock hard, so I just took it out of the bag of the dirty rice right there, and I'm putting it into the water to try and dissolve that first, so we don't have big chunks of seasoning in there all at once. Now I'm going to throw in the onions and peppers and celery. What I did was cut off at the top, so there's the celery leaves too. It had still the celery flavor. I don't like wasting things. If they looked kind of dry and stuff like that, like any tips I cut off that are dry at the top, I put in a bag to be used for making stock. And then I put that bag into the freezer. You can see right here the onion peels and pepper peels in there from yesterday and today. And I'm going to put that in the freezer, and then when it's full, I will make a veggie stock with it. Okay, let's break this up. Okay, breaking up. So I want to encourage people to think outside the box, literally. And even though you have something that's in a box, you can always add extra meat or vegetables or extra rice or that to extend the meal. Like this container of meat was maybe a cup and a half of meat, maybe 2 cups max. And this will easily feed us for lunch, especially with the Jamaican patties. They're starting to get soft. Now I'm going to add the water that I put the seasoning packet in from the rice in there, and then the package of rice with whatever seasoning wasn't all stuck together. Stir that together, get that all covered in water, and then it says to cover and simmer for 25 minutes. And I'll let you know how it is when it's done. I'm looking at this, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of rice to meat ratio. So I took some brown minute rice that I also have to use up in the pantry, put some water in it and microwaved it for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to toss this in here to add more rice because I want to really extend the meat that's in here. It seems, for myself, kind of meat heavy and not rice heavy, and I know I like to have more rice than meat. It really makes the recipe stretch. And that was only maybe like a cup of minute rice and a cup of water. Again, I didn't quite measure it, but I figure if there's a bit too much water, it will evaporate while it's cooking here. Now that looks more racier, more like what I'd like. There we go. Let it cook some more. Now I'm going to assemble the burritos. There's the mixture. Put some on tortilla. A tiny handful. I have some Tex-Mex shredded cheese. Just a little bit. And then I will roll it up, which is really difficult to try and do one-handed. There. Couldn't do it one-handed. So we're going to have that. We're going to have some leftover Jamaican patties and some of the dirty rice that's left over. And then I'm going to have a salad with some chopped up broccoli and cauliflower in it. As per my husband's request, he likes the raw veggies. And this literally costs pennies to make. I'm making a bunch over here, and I will freeze whatever is left over individually, wrapped in tin foil, and then put in a Ziploc bag. Tonight I'm making black bean and corn burritos, using up stuff from the pantry. Black beans, I'm using some taco beans that I made up with black-eyed peas. I made them in December. I'll link a video of the recipe that Heritage Homes used, and that's what I did with these beans. In here I just put a full bell pepper, a yellow one, and 2 tiny onions and some butter, and so onions, pepper, and butter, and I'm gonna turn it up so I can saute, and then I'll put the beans and the corn in there. I'm going to add cumin. I'm going to add some steak spice to be the salt pepper component, and then I'm going to add some taco seasoning that I had made. I'll put a link to the recipe on Pinterest. That's what's left of that, to add some spiciness to this. I'm currently making some microwaved brown minute rice, and I'm going to add that because it calls for about a cup, so I'm not really measuring anything. I'm just kind of winging it together. Put all these things together on a tortilla with some cheese, and then I'll bake them. I'll either bake them in the oven, probably about 350 or so, to melt the cheese, or I might pop them on a plate and put them in the oven for microwave oven for 30 seconds to a minute to melt the cheese. It all kind of depends what my family wants to do, or also the amount of time that my family wants to eat. If they're super duper hungry, wanting it now, I'll microwave it probably. So now I'm going to add the beans. And the corn. And I'm going to put some taco seasoning. And some cumin. And taste steak spice. And the recipe called for coriander, but I don't have any of that, so I won't put it in. And I'll add the rice that I microwaved. There's still a bit of water in there, but it will finish cooking. Now I'm going to assemble the burritos. There's the mixture. Put some on tortilla. A tiny handful. I have some Tex-Mex shredded cheese. Just a little bit. And then I will roll it up. Which is really difficult to try and do one-handed. There. Couldn't do it one-handed. So we're going to have that. We're going to have some leftover Jamaican patties and some of the dirty rice that's left over. And then I'm going to have a salad with some chopped up broccoli and cauliflower in it, as per my husband's request. He likes the raw veggies. And this literally costs pennies to make. I'm making a bunch over here, and I will freeze whatever is left over individually, wrapped in tin foil, and then put in a Ziploc bag.